can listen to this practice wherever you find yourself today. You can be sitting down, or you can be laying down, or you can be stretching and doing things if that's what you got to do. And hopefully wherever you're at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. If you would prefer to listen to this in a still position, you can let now be the time where you let yourself fidget, adjust, stretch, or move your body in whatever ways your body wants to move. Not worrying about what anything looks like at all, but trusting your instincts when it comes to movement and coming fully into that sense of feeling as you follow those yummy sensations that you might feel when you roll out the neck, the shoulders, the spine, even the hands or the wrists. Maybe just shaking out the entire body if that feels good. Just letting your body move you in the ways that intuitively feel good in your bones, muscles, and joints. And at any time, if what feels best in your body is stillness, then honoring that need for stillness whenever that feels like what you need. And there's also no rush whatsoever. You can continue to move throughout this practice whenever you feel the need to adjust yourself to get into a slightly more comfortable position. But if you would like to listen to this in a still position and more deeply enter the world of the mind and your own internal world, then you can make your way to a still and comfortable position if you haven't already. As you just check in that your spine is nice and straight in whatever position you've chosen. And if you're in a space where you feel safe and would like to, you can allow your eyes to gently close at any time if they aren't already. As you take a moment now to mark your arrival into your practice today and into your body today with a full, intentional cleansing breath, calling in fresh new air into the body through the nose as you fill up to every corner and edge of you. As you just hold that for a moment once you're full, to stay and experience what it feels like to be full of air right now. And as you need to, slowly letting all of that go. Exhaling bit by bit. As you gently pull the navel toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale, to really push any last bit of stagnant air out of you. As you again pause for a moment here. To now sit and experience what it feels like to be empty in the body. Allowing your next breath to come as it's needed. And you can continue to breathe in this slow, intentional, and exaggerated way for as long as it feels good and helpful to you. But at any point, if you haven't already, you may release this guidance over your breath altogether. And allow yourself to step almost back and up in your mind and into the role of the observer or the role of the witness. shifting into that perspective where you are no longer controlling or guiding the rhythm or depth of your breath, but you are simply watching as your body breathes you, the way it always does. Even in your deepest state of sleep, your body breathes so gently for you, all on its own. And so seeing if you can just watch your body's gentle breath, each inhale coming and each exhale going, with that same energy that you might feel when you lay on the beach and just watch the waves as they roll up along the shoreline. Never trying to change anything about the size or speed of the waves you are watching, but you are simply witnessing them, each one as it comes and goes. That same energy that you feel when you witness any other force of nature. Remembering right now that you too are a force of nature. And so witnessing yourself with that same sense of awe and wonder and maybe curiosity. Noticing any resting expression that is on your face. Becoming curious about where tension seems to be gathering in you today. Maybe becoming curious about any emotions that could be communicated by your resting facial expressions, or maybe by your resting posture even. And first, just making note of what your resting starting point is right now. As you then allow yourself to soften a bit deeper into exactly where you are right now. As you allow all the muscles in your face to ungrip from the bones. Feel your jaw hang into place. As you let your eyelids be soft and just rest gently on one another. Feeling a sense of ease and a sense of release in all the muscles across the face. Almost as if they are hanging off of the bones, releasing back into the support of your own skin. Remembering that you can trust your own anatomy. Trusting that when you let go and allow your body to fully soften, just like you do every night when you go to sleep, you are never crushed and you never float away, but with the safety of the earth beneath you and the force of gravity all around you, you are always held exactly where you need to be. And so let yourself be held right now. Maybe feeling that same sense that you feel when you exhale into a hug with someone who you love dearly and someone who loves you dearly. Maybe a person or maybe an animal, maybe even a tree. But just that moment in the hug where you exhale and give in to the hug and you allow yourself to be held. Allow yourself to be loved, supported, and safe. And feeling that same sense with the continuous hug that your own skin is giving you. Your skin constantly hugging your bones, muscles, and joints, keeping everything within you, within you. The constant hug of gravity holding you close toward the earth. And allow yourself to be exactly as you already are right now. Remembering that who you are right now and who you are in general is constantly changing. And so you do not need to be any one specific or any specific version of yourself. You are allowed to be whatever version of yourself you are right now, which will always be unique. And you can let some of your attention come to your heart. And maybe even placing one or both hands on top of the heart to just encourage that feeling from the outside as well. As you just tune in to this rhythm of your own life. This steady background beat to every single moment of your existence in this body. Gradually bringing more and more of your attention to focus on your own heart. And making note of how your heart is doing right now. Maybe it feels really light and happy and comforting in your heart. Or maybe it feels rather heavy. Maybe bringing attention to your heart evokes tears. And that is okay if that's what happens. You can allow for any emotional releases that need to come. You can allow your emotions to arise from within you and release outside of you, where you will feel lighter. Every single storm runs out of rain. And sometimes we never want to look at the parts of our life that are painful and cause us grief and suffering. And of course, that is normal. That makes a lot of sense. And at the same time, there is value in occasionally revisiting grief when it arises, when it presents itself to us. And even sometimes when it doesn't. And kind of getting ahead of it in a way to release that valve and start processing these tougher emotions and tougher things that we go through in life so that they don't insidiously control our reactions when we're going about our daily life. But having safe time, maybe by yourself or with someone you trust, to process, to let go of whatever it is you need to let go of, to maybe scream into a pillow, to punch a pillow, to run around, to jump around, to shake it all out, to cry until you're laughing, or to laugh until you cry, and then laugh again. Just allowing yourself to be human. All of the difficult parts of being human are not meant to be escaped. And when you experience difficult things, it doesn't mean you're being punished. It doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. It just means you're human and you're alive. And as humans that live life, we will experience bad things, dark things, painful things. And we will also experience great things, beautiful things, joyful things, wonderful things, and everything in between. And just remember that the heights of your highs that you feel are directly related to and impacted by the depths of the lows that you feel. Because if we were feeling good and happy and positive and inspired all of the time, we would just be feeling normal, because it's just how it is. It's mundane. And so what we are feeling when we feel those great moments in life is that contrast between the worst moments in our lives. And so we can learn to have some form of an appreciation for the darkness we experience, since it does allow us to more fully appreciate the greatness that we experience. So you can continue to feel all that is here for you to feel, and continue to soften your body physically and mentally and emotionally into all it is that you are feeling. As you listen to the following words that were written by Yung Pueblo on his substack, and it will be written in the description as well. This is entitled 7 Ways to Heal After Loss. Living with grief, learning from it, understanding how to be with it instead of fighting it. Our universe has a powerful characteristic of ever-present change. This is visible in every layer of existence. No matter where you look, impermanence is an inescapable law. Within this river of change, you can see that movement makes it possible for there to be a flow of creation and destruction, beginnings and endings. Everything that arises eventually passes away. This truth is one of the most challenging parts of being a human being. This law of impermanence makes it so that birth and death are undeniable aspects of existence. Loss is inevitable. The bonds you develop with those you are closest to, no matter how precious, are ultimately temporary. Even if a bond lasts a lifetime, it will eventually come upon the chapter of death. Life is inherently relational, meaning that the bonds you form deeply shape your identity and energize you to continue facing the ups and downs you come across. We thrive in small groups, and when one of our essential group members is gone, we feel that loss tremendously. Grief can feel like gravity has increased the weight on your bones, making everything more difficult, or like a dense fog that has descended that makes things feel unfamiliar. No longer having the opportunity to turn to someone you can be fully vulnerable with, someone you trust and love, hurts. Losing someone you love sometimes feel like you've lost a part of yourself, and it can make you feel disconnected from others and from yourself. Living with grief, learning from it, understanding how to be with it instead of fighting it, is an aspect of life that is full of lessons. The following are 2 ways to work with grief when it arises. Embody their best qualities. Part of the sadness you feel when you lose somebody you love is because their qualities and energy go with them. They had a specific way that shined upon those they encountered. One of the best ways to remember and honor someone's life is to embody their best characteristics. Remember the kindness and the joy they were able to give you and pass that forward to the world. It is possible to keep their great qualities alive through your own choices and behaviors. Use their life as a point of inspiration for how you would like to show up in the world. And 2, grief does not have a time limit. Don't try to be efficient with your grief. So I guess that goes against what I said earlier of trying to get ahead of it. Just like healing, moving through grief can be a messy process. An important thing to understand is that you can grieve for years while still living a full and enjoyable life. Letting go is not a quick process. Feeling sadness is totally normal. The heaviness of loss can sit in your heart for a long time. The sadness may come up over and over again, sometimes triggered by something small. Let it arise and pass away. Let yourself experience grief in an organic manner. And yes, whatever works for the individual is what works. We all have different paths and different ways to grieve. I'm going to read one more thing. I'm going to read now one of my favorite poems, Wild Geese by Mary Oliver. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and clear pebbles of the rain are moving across landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese high in the clean blue air are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over again, announcing your place in the family of things. So you can just take the next few moments to allow each and every word that you've heard today and each and every feeling that you have felt today to just settle within you. The same way that glitter settles to the bottom of a snow globe. You can imagine that your body is this big snow globe and just allowing everything to settle and allowing the air to clear. And you can trust that anything that you heard today or felt today that really resonated with you or struck a chord with you in some way, you can just trust that that feeling can sometimes come when we hear on the outside what a part of ourselves already knows to be true on the inside. And so you can just allow those deep truths to be enhanced within you so that you feel a little bit more confidence to act on your own intuition and to trust your own instincts. So if it feels like something you would like to do today, you can just let your hands find each other in a prayer position toward heart center. As you just feel this contact of your palms and fingers to one another, as you let your heart lift toward your thumbs as your thumbs press back toward your heart. And you feel all of this power generated through you. You can take a final deep, full breath into the body, filling up to every corner and edge of you. And as you exhale, letting go of anything at all that you are ready to let go of as you allow the head to gently bow. Just taking this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. And bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. And may this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights. And may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you, thank you, thank you.